Are you watching the live or are you watching the replay? Will I keep this live feed up or will I just irritate everybody and take it down? I was watching Eric this morning, the Great Freight Sage Logic. I have to say that real slow. And he was talking about some very interesting things, but I couldn't tell if it was live or a premiere. I think it was live, but then something happened. I had to get out of the feed, whether it's live or premiere. Get some people in here. Jonathan Houston, I see that you finally uploaded a video. Let's go check that out, shall we? Let's see if that notification's still on here. No, it's gone. Congratulations on uploading a video. If you guys watched Jeff's live feed, I was on there making fun of everything. I brought it my airsoft BB pebbles that I said I would distribute to the like trucking guys. So, what's your video about, Big Houston? I haven't watched it yet, unfortunately. Eric's video was the only one I was kind of watching today, this morning. YouTube was strangely quiet overnight, I guess, and you know, we had a dinner with my mom, my sister, you know, kind of a last hurrah. And one of those places that cooks, is one of those Japanese places that do the knife dance and they cook crap in front of you, you know, it's that's what we did last night. And so coming home from that, Jeff was live, so I was watching that. And then here I am doing a live feed Friday morning. Mention that. Let's see. But we have our coffee. We do not have it in a like trucking mug. We have it at a chiropractor place. Eric was way too early. I don't know, when you live in the very tippy top northeast corner, what's normal for him is super early for me. And then even super early if you're West Coast. Which, by the way, I saw a report that the Northwest is going to get 3-digit heat wave numbers. And so they're all worried about that. So prepare for rolling blackouts. They didn't say that, but that's usually what happens. Every time it gets super hot around here, we blow a transformer and then you lose half your power. To the point that I have to unplug and make sure that I have to unplug my CPAP. I have to unplug things that I don't want fried, because we've had things in this house fried that were even on surge protectors. So you've been waiting impatiently for TIS. For TIS? What's TIS? Alright, so let's see. We got Daniel Adami, Big Houston, Scott Isro Logistics, Describe, the Great Freight Sage Logic. Eric, were you live or was that a premiere? See, Thomas, Describe, starting 10-day vacation. Totally, do I need it today? Awesome. I would like to go back to work, but I cannot. Jonathan Wheeler, Bob G, GNC Family Trucking, Tolga. Peace, says Tolga. It was my second video. Mike Tucker, good morning. Happy Friday. Let me check something here real quick before I read the rest of that. Mike Tucker. I was making sure, but I appreciate the Cash App you did the other day. I didn't get a chance to thank you because I ended the feed before I saw that. So I appreciate that, Mike. I'm very grateful for you. There is a new movie about truckers coming out next year around this time. It has Morgan Freeman in it as well. Where I stopped last night was part of a movie set. They said it puts us in a good light as well. Well, good. It's about time the narrative fits us. It's about time the narrative. There is not one trucking movie out there that's ever put us in a good light. Ever. You know, you might, well, Smoking the Bandit. No, Smoking the Bandit, we're seen as outlaw, you know, people that break the law and break into things and, you know, don't give a crap about cops. Convoy, same thing. Now, while I enjoy those movies, they definitely aren't the real life truck driving that we love and know well. Cash is King, what's up? You got to see Morgan Freeman? Wow, dude. Where was that? Where was that, Daniel? David Torres, other trucker James Best. It was live, okay. John Armstrong, Provost Motorsports. How are you, sir? I might need your assistance later, next week. Let's see. Donnie Luke, Sean Fairman, 260 for the pumpkin out of Florida to Houston is big for. Wow, that's definitely good. Are you, Sean? Are you on the AIR board? AIR. That's an Anthrax song, by the way, off their first album. For the record, I did not put edge protectors on my load in my video. Maximum Overdrive. Dude, I love Maximum Overdrive. Now, that being said, I found this movie it was just called Trucks. And it was literally Maximum Overdrive, like the B version. Like, it was literally the same. I don't know which came first, but it was literally the same movie, except different characters. Horrible, horrible acting, if you can imagine that, over the original, or over the main one, I guess. It was. It just. I think I have it on DVD somewhere. I declined the main role, John. Too busy. T-shirts. No, still on Slave 65. Truck stop off of I-55, exit 42, Brookhaven, Mississippi. I'm delivering a load in Morgan Freeman's hometown of Clarksdale, Mississippi today. I found out last night he's from there. Oh, wow, cool. The Hool is in the house. I was at a truck stop Tuesday where they were filming a movie, says Jonathan Whaler. Well, maybe you and Daniel were hanging out and didn't even realize it. You know, and then I guess they're putting out a new Ice Roads like movie, like not like has nothing to do with the TV show, but I think Netflix has an Ice Roads movie. I bet you that's funny. I love trucking movies, but they're comical at best. You know, us truck drivers sit there like, oh man, that's not how that works. That's not how air brakes work. You know, that kind of thing. So, you're pounding down some beer, Hool. Yeah. Liam Neeson, which I have mixed feelings about that dude. I love the movies he's in, but he's a hypocritical butthead. Because he does these shoot 'em up movies, you know, and then sits there and bitches about gun violence and wants to ban all guns. It's like, dude, it's movies like yours that gives people that impression. Maybe that's why he makes them, because he knows. It's like he knows that's oh, it must be super easy, you know. And it's funny because you see these, you know, these movies where people just casually, you know, just 45, just like one hand. You know, you got people like Keanu Reeves that will actually train with like CIA people, right? And the same thing with Tom Cruise. But then you got people like, oh, you know, The Walking Dead is a perfect example of that. Go in the lease, purchase a trailer in August, looking for a better gig. The main character in the movie is a Pete. Brookhaven. Oh, Jonathan Willer, you were probably at the same truck stop as Daniel. Is that Daniel? Is that the truck stop? Like there, it's like a crappy Shell station. Were they filming there? Like that moon crater parking lot? Is that the one you're talking about? Because I've stayed there many times when I'm delivering. No, Brookhaven. That's man, I'm confused now. I might be thinking of something else. I'm dumb. Atta girl. Black Dog is great. Freaking Meatloaf Randy. Thomas. Black Dog. That movie makes me laugh. It's like, oh, here's your new license. You've been reinstated since you're a hero at the end of the movie. Crack me up. And then the guy not wanting a brand new truck because it would attract too much attention. Oh, there were so many things wrong with that movie. It was hilarious. Hilarious. Brookhaven's going down towards Tupelo, right? I think there's a Walmart DC there. Right, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Duel from 71 was a good movie. Just Feel the Truckers was misunderstood by the four-wheeler. The Duel is what we all wish we could do sometimes, right? Did I say that out loud? I love Duel. Yeah, Daniel, they were filming a movie there. That place is such a dive. Which, hey, if they're going for the dive effect, they picked a good location. I remember one night I was in there, and I thought I screwed up my truck because I went through a puddle of water, and my truck, boom! I thought I messed everything up. I had to get out and look, but I hit a crater so hard, and the water was hidden. So, and I think the last time I was there, they had regraded it, which was nice. But you know, come on, put about $300 worth of gravel and get this stuff leveled out. But yeah, I've wow, that's funny. Of all the places, it's like they might as well film part of the movie at that abandoned truck wash there in Muskogee or Pryor, Oklahoma. That guy on the Big Rig show last night has W9 and new trailer. I'll stick with used truck and trailer I can run for 71 cents. Sean, that's smart. Look, you know, you have to give me a second to ponder this thought. You know, I've always said that you have to keep your costs low. And there's a bunch of light trucking guys that have left to get their own authority. And I think he's had it the toughest because of his costs. Because when I've always said that if the higher it costs, the less freedom you have. The more success we are at trucking, the more freedom we have. And to me, a big hooded truck in a dry van market has two double whammies. It's a double whammy, two double whammy. That doesn't make sense. A double whammy, okay? You know, I talked to a guy that just bought a W9 at MHC Kenworth the last time I was in there. And I kid you not, guys, this absolutely blows my mind. He traded his truck in And so that W9, and of course he was negative on his, he didn't have enough equity in that truck, his old truck. And he told me that the final bill was over $200,000 for one truck. $200,000 for one truck. That's whammy number one. Whammy number two is the fuel. When fuel is $2.50, you know, you can do better. But when it gets in the $3 and $4 range, which we're looking at, that's a challenge. I'm not saying it's not doable. I'm not disparaging anybody that wants a hood. But to me, it gives you less freedom to adjust if fuel spikes. Unless you're driving one with low cost, like low payments or no payments. Then that makes up for that. You have that flexibility. And it's a nice truck. I mean, W9s are nice trucks. I wouldn't mind having one. I've been in them. I would like to drive one. You know, Sammy, it makes sense. He was going to let me drive his for a second at the Gats parking lot, and I turned him down. But you know, kind of regretting that. But the higher costs, you know, just like if you got a Schneider Finance truck and you want to leave the Schneider platform, or even if you're in the Schneider platform, you have less freedom. Not saying it can't be done, but you really have to be on your A game and have everything planned out to offset those costs. And I gotta watch time because I gotta be out here by 8:30. So number one, if you buy a new truck or if you buy a used truck, if you are still upside down in your other truck, in the truck that you're in now, that could be a problem. So whether you buy new or used, if you buy a new truck, it's going to take about 3 to 4 years to not be upside down in it. If you're in a used truck, it's going to take about 2 years if you're on a 4 or 5 year note to keep from being upside down, depending on how much you put down. And I've seen it time and time again. Someone get a brand new truck, but they were upside down in the truck that they hadn't paid off yet. And it makes what would have been a $3,000 truck payment become a $3,500 or $4,000 a month truck note for that new truck. So just you know, got to be careful. So someone gave me a super chat. Who was that? Cash is king. Look at you giving away the cash is king goods. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. They're also shooting scenes of Clarksdale, Arkansas. I'm not cutting them down, but I have zero interest in getting authority. I knew I loved you, Sean, for a reason. Pumpkin swears fuel going up much more. Yes, that is true. I'll also name the movie, but if you want to know the name, you can send me $100 on Cash App. Way to go, Daniel. You go, girl. Yeah, but you won't know the name of it till maybe 2 months before it comes out. Because my life would not be complete if I don't know the name of this damn movie. If it's got Morgan Freeman, it's going to be advertised. So, when it comes to getting a person's own authority, it comes down to costs. Like, I think Team Tiny was looking to get his own authority, and he was looking at like a $60,000 insurance bill. I think John Armstrong at one point was looking at his authority, and his bill was outrageous. But then I know people that went and got their own authority and their bill's only like $8,900. And they're doing very well. So it's the same concept. It's the same concept. So. Yeah, John Armstrong, 29,000 for insurance. Whereas someone from, say, Nebraska with 20 years experience might be 10,000. That 29,000 versus 10,000 is a make or break number. So, and then so usually what constitutes a high insurance quote is lack of experience, lack of CDL experience. And so you have another double whammy, right? You have the fact that you don't have a whole lot of experience running a market on your own authority, and then you have triple the cost of someone who might be out here for 20 years. That puts you at a severe disadvantage. Severe disadvantage. Even if you did have that kind of money. Yep. Experience and credit are the two main factors of that. A new authority is a risk anyways, right? And so let's fix that here. I have no idea. That was a calendar moment. I have no idea what I put there. So anyway, sorry about that. But anyways, so you had a double, again, you're at a severe disadvantage. So if John wants to ever get his own authority, he needs to put a few years under his belt, learn the markets, sign on with a great company, and he'll be good to go. Blown eardrums. Sorry. Coach keeps saying digital dash 10,000. I don't even know what that means. What's a digital dash 10,000? Not sure. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this about Trucker's Coach. Let's talk about him for a second. No drama, no anger. I'm just going to mention this, okay? Trucker's Coach, if you're listening, here's what I got to say about your GP Transco thing. If your job is to put GP Transco's name in everybody's mouth and advertise for them, good on you. You're doing an excellent job, because that's all anybody seems to be freaking talking about. So, mission accomplished. If he set out to recruit and put GP Transco's name out there, he's doing it. So for as long as you guys keep talking and talking and talking about it, that's just more revenue, or whatever deal he's got set up. Now I'm done talking about that. New truck dash is an upgrade. Didn't know that. I got to fix my AC. Hopefully I can get it fixed today. It's not good, especially with having my son with me. Daniel, is there a reason why you're waiting on that? I mean, you got dogs and your son. I mean, that's. Do you even know what's wrong with it, Daniel? If AC goes out in the fall and you're running northern states, not a big deal, right? But if your AC goes out in the middle of summer and you're running Mississippi, I can't even imagine that, dude. I almost had heat stroke one night because of a bad AC. My AC went out on my Volvo that I was driving as a company truck, and I was in Tyler, Texas at the Pilot. That new Pilot, it was brand new. I was able to find parking there, and I bought one of those tornado fans and tried to sleep with that because the AC was out and I couldn't do anything because it went out like that night. And so at one point I was so drenched in sweat I was getting the shakes that I went inside to McDonald's and I think I bought an ice cream and ice water and just stayed in there for as long as I could stay awake. And then the next morning I got back in the truck. I called my dispatch, said this truck is not moving until this AC is fixed. So I ended up going to the Volvo dealership in Tyler and got it fixed. $1,300 it was fixed. So, and it wasn't my $1,300. That's the important part. In a week, I'm going to 85-15 carrier, hitting that spot market more directly and book my own loads. John, I'd be curious to see who that company is. Is anybody I know? I didn't have the money to fix it, but I do today. The reason why I didn't have the money to fix it earlier is because I had paid my aunt part of the loan she lent me. DIY Semi, what's up? I have my AC set to 68 degrees. It was blowing warm air today, nothing wrong with it. It's 60 in the air today. I spent one night without AC, sweatiest night I've ever had. It was terrible. John, if you call me, I'm going to be busy all day today, so you can just text me what you're doing and we'll have a chat about it later. Not that it's important to me, you know, but hopefully it's a good company and you know, and hopefully you'll be all right. So it's supposed to get up to 93 degrees here in Missouri. So you wanted to talk to me about, well, if I might have, call me after, well, text me and I'll call you when I get a chance later on this afternoon. Snorelord, apparently Roscoe's going for the Snorelord beard. Yeah, that was funny. I was watching part of Roscoe's feed yesterday and they just started talking about beard care. Everybody's talking about straighteners and beard oil and beard growers and all that. I'm like, I use beard oil, but that's about it. You know, I don't do anything special. You know, once it gets down a certain length, it'll weigh itself down. But everybody should have a Snorelord beard. Everybody, except for ladies. We don't want ladies with beards, right? But the men, grow that beard, grow that hair. Let's all look like Viking warriors and crush the enemies. Okay? You made it, Thomas. Last night it was actually pretty good, not too hot. I had my sleeper door open and my fans going on, so the night before was horrible, but we got through it. Is your Thermo King AC working at all? Wait a minute, it's a Thermo King. Probably not. I give Roscoe one more month and he'll shave that. He'll shave it. You can't. He'll shave it. He'll form his goatee again. I went through this less than a month. It's funny. I have people call me all the time. Dude, I'm going to grow a beard just like yours. I'm like, okay. And then 2 weeks later, I had to shave. I hated it. So, no, my APU is not working. It hasn't been working since January 2020. Oh, Thermo King, Thermo King, Thermo King. Gotta love it. Gotta love Thermo. Well, Daniel, if your Thermo King doesn't try to kill you, that's positive. That's a good day with the Thermo King. Look, Daniel, you know I've preached this to you before, but having the capital to fix your truck when it goes down is extremely important. Because what if it wasn't the AC, Daniel? What if it was something that the truck needed to move? You know, you're lucky it's only the AC. You're lucky it's only discomfort. Haven't seen you in a while. Looking healthy. Carnivores work for you. Can notice it in your face. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have a little bit of acne going on still, but I think my body's dumping the oxalates, is what they call it, with the carnivore. Speaking of APU, I'm heading to Illinois next week. I'm having a green APU put on. I hope that's not a regretful decision there, Thomas Wilson. No. But I wish you luck, and I'm glad you're getting an APU, because that truck needs it. The trucking patriarch are scolding the young trucking. Again, it goes to costs. You know, you guys, okay, so how many here have done the payday loan thing? How many in this chat? Give me a yes if you've done the payday loan thing. No, John, it's a brand. It's a brand of APU. Look it up. Google it. Google it. Payday loan, Thomas Wilson, what's that? For those of you who don't know, I think Thomas is being facetious, but those of you who don't actually know what a payday loan is, you go into a payday loan place and it's like, hey man, I'm going to get paid Friday. Can you give me some money today? And then they charge you like a ridiculous amount of interest. So for every $100, you're probably giving them $75. So a $100 loan becomes $175. To the point that the government actually put some restrictions on payday loans. My Thermal King doesn't throw a breaker when I use it. Touché. It's kind of a hard cycle to get out of. In other words, once you start, it's hard to get out. So the other aspect is I dated this gal. It should have been a red flag, you know, because it was a horrible relationship. But I dated this gal who would purposely, this is back before the debit cards, okay? She would purposely write a check for cash, knowing that it would bounce, and just pay the fees later. Now, those of you who have ever bounced a check or overdrafted your account, what happens? The bank, your bank charges you $40, and then the bank that tried to cash the loan charges $40. Next thing you know, $100 check now costs you $180. So it's a tough cycle to get out of. Next thing you know, your $10 overdraft is costing you hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. You don't think that's by design? And so in the trucking world, you can easily end up in the same situation. And that's why it's the most important thing is to have both cash and credit. In my opinion, this is not a blanket statement, because, you know, I've known people have been able to accomplish without what I'm about to say, but those of you without cash and credit, you're going to struggle a little bit more. You know, because that first breakdown could happen literally a month after you buy that truck, new or used. That's the thing, new or used. And if you don't have that capital, it's like any other business. Let's say I owned a bike store, okay? And I get a shipment of 10 bikes in, and I sell them. But because my costs are too high, I don't have more money to buy 10 more bikes to sell. Well, how long is my bike business going to stay open? Not very long. And for some reason, people in trucking kind of forget that. Because these lease companies give you, hey, you know what? If you can't make the repair, we're going to help you out. But again, it's that payday loan cycle mentality that happens. Oh, hey, your truck's like $12,000 from being paid off. You ought to trade it in. Trade it in. Hey, you've got $50,000 left on your truck, but this new truck, you're gonna like it. It's the same thing. Debt is the currency of slaves. Now, it does no good to have credit if you can't pay the credit cards off. So, you have to have both. And you could start your trucking business with $50,000 cash, but it could be easily eaten up with a couple of bad shops and somebody taking your hood out at the truck stop. Like that. Well, I run really good, and I can do the $4,500 a month truck note, and my truck's under warranty. Okay, but can you pay your home bills if you're down for a month? Can you pay your home bills if the DEF parts that you need are still in China on a container in a boat that can't get out of the strait? Come on. If I want to get a new truck, I got to get enough money down to make the payments about $1,500 to $1,800 a month. That's the only way I would do a new truck, because it keeps my costs low. But I don't have any intention of doing that anytime soon. Yeah, James Best PACCAR shirt. That's hilarious. I can just see James Best with that shirt on, with that crap-eating grin, going into a Kenworth dealership, going, "Hi, I'm here for someone to look at my truck," and see what the reaction would be. Nothing witty is in the house. Well, I'm trying to keep my language clean, John. But oh no, Mr. Bill, what's up? So, and you have to be careful. I mean, just because you got money in the bank. For example, I read this on Facebook, because it's got to be true, right? But anyways, somebody posted in the PACCAR page. The mill light was on, and the dealership literally told him he needed all new 6 injectors right now. Now, those of you who have the PACCAR and you've ever gotten your fuel filters changed at a non-PACCAR shop, what happens? That fuel rail pressure changes, and they can't turn the code off in the computer because they don't have the PACCAR software. So what happens when you get your fuel filters changed at a non-PACCAR place? Ding! That light comes on. After about 2 days, it goes off. And this one shop was literally trying to sell this person 6, because all 6 injectors were out. That's why that light was on there. And that is one of the things I hate the most about this industry. That is what makes me nervous to go into a shop, is that somebody's sketchiness could cost me $10,000 to $15,000 because I don't know any better. And so everybody told this person, get a second opinion somewhere else if the truck's running. Bad fuel can cause both the lights come on in a Kenworth. And they could say, well, you need injectors. But in reality, your filter was clogged up. Or you need a new fuel pump instead. Excess debt can cause a person to make very bad decisions. Absolutely. What's funny is that are people talking crap about something they've never had or had to deal with, they only go by what people have told them, and it amazes me how uninformed they are about the product. What are we talking about? Oh, PACCAR? All injectors thrown out is not normal, usually one at a time, right? Are you talking about Daniel Lamy? You're talking about James Best? Okay, yeah, you are. Okay. PACCAR's come a long way from where they were years ago. PACCAR is a lot better now than it was before. Look, I think James Best being triggered by PACCAR is hilarious to me, and I think that he kind of eggs it on himself because it's entertaining to other people. So I think so I think that's where that comes from. Moonflea says, thankfully I have the OTR performance tool. I can read the PACCAR codes myself. There you go. No triggers, no fun. That's true. That's true. Go to a range without triggers. What do you got? A bunch of paperweights, right? Algae in fuel tank is a major problem, and most of today's truck drivers don't have a clue. Thomas, you're actually right. You're absolutely right. That's what I meant to say. Got about 10 more minutes, guys, and I got to end this feed. You got man by the stage guy? Well, the whole, you're probably saying something he didn't understand in a channel that's like serious business. Morning, Moonflea. How's it going? Running a business, I don't care if it's a bike store, a trucking business, your own authority, signed on the Snyder, you got to have some common sense. Keep your costs low and your profit ratio good. What good is it to get $5 a mile if your costs are $4.15 a mile? You know, that's an extreme example, but it's true nonetheless. If I remember correctly, James Best is all about a maintenance account, LOL. I've driven, I've been driving for 11 years now, okay? I've driven Volvo engine, Cat engine, Detroit engine, Cummins, PACCAR. Yeah. The Detroit was very limited. It was only trucking school. But they all have their issues. All these major manufacturers have ways to take money out of your wallet. They all have their methods. That's it. I don't care if the truck is new. I don't care if the truck is used. I don't care if it's a classic cab over from 1986. I don't care if it's a brand new Freightliner Cascada that came off the showroom floor in a month. Next month. They all have their issues. Sometimes it's wiring, sometimes it's engine, sometimes it's DPF, sometimes it's all three at once, sometimes it's none until 500,000 miles. Somebody who's had a good experience with Freightliner, like Freightliner's best truck ever, you know. And so that's what you have to look at. And it makes it hard for a person, you know, what truck do I buy? What engine do I get? Because you have so many focused, hyperbolic opinions of what works and what doesn't. Charles, it was awesome meeting you. When you're ready in the future and you commit to growth, call me. I would be highly interested in investing in you. Awesome. There you go. How about Chucky? Chucky's good people. Oh, you met Thomas yesterday. Good deal. James Ferguson, did you go to your high school prom? No, I did not. And I think that disappointed my girlfriend at the time. I was too busy being edgy and metal and angry. I didn't have time for things like prom and stuff like that. Anyways, anything else, guys, before I get out of here? You look good in a prom tuxedo. I've been in a tuxedo once. The original bass player of Apnea was getting married, and he paid for it. So somewhere in existence is a picture of me in a tuxedo. Of course, I was, 100 pounds lighter, and I didn't have all this. So, were you in band in high school, or did you learn how to play instruments on your own because you wanted to learn? Kane, I learned on my own. When I was 17, a guitar was put in my possession, and I just, curiosity, and then I just started to learn from there. Bass, once you learn guitar, you can play bass. And then the drums, I bought a cheap drum set off of somebody, and I love playing drums, and I annoyed everybody, wife included, so I kind of cut back on it. But I love playing the drums. If I had to sit down and learn a new instrument, it would be the drums right now. That or the ukulele. I want to learn the ukulele. I know that's not very metal, but there's some metal versions of ukuleles out there. I think you can do the peeing on things, whatever. You can have the PACCAR logo, you can have the Cummins logo, you can have the Volvo logo, you can have the Peterbilt logo. I'm surprised James Best doesn't have one on Peterbilt, as much as he disparages Peterbilts. Your allegiance can be bought. There you go. That's the James Best I know. That's the one we all know, right? That's the one we all know. You were going to? Oh, man. Cowboys were dangerous because of a head-on crash. Full force, pretty much done. Depends on the crash. If you're crashing in a car, you're probably okay. But back in the day of cab overs, a lot of truck drivers didn't wear seatbelts. So yeah. Moonflea, you have a good day. Be safe. And I mean that in a safety manager kind of way. Pack our rules. See? I would like to drive a cab over 18-wheeler at some point in my career. Just even if it's like 10 miles down the road with a trailer. I've driven a cab over bus. That was interesting. And I've ridden in cab overs as a kid. We can wear them at the same time at the truck show. Yeah, if there's ever any truck shows left. Because they're already, look, the narrative's already there that they're talking about this new variant and crap's going to hit the fan come cold flu season. It's I don't have high hopes for all that. Real truck drivers. That's funny. Well, you just called Pale Rider not a real truck driver, Thomas Wilson. Because he drives automatic. So, you got to watch out for them blanket statements. Where is Pale Rider? He's been kind of MIA. Haven't seen him in any feeds here lately. Real truck driver says the guy who's been lost. Hey, if I'm not a real truck driver because I have a GPS, then call me fake any day you want. But I guarantee you I have less stress when I go into a city I've never been into before. A real truck driver won't even use Google Maps there, Mr. Wilson. RN, what's up? Have you ever used the 18 speed? No. I've only done 10 speed. I haven't done a 13. I've done an 18. They just learn how to do U-turns. Thomas is the master at U-turns. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, James West. Hard to use the Georgia overdrive on automatic. Look at Hool trying to keep up with them American trucker lingo things. You gotta love it. You gotta love Hool, man. You gotta love it. I like it when Hool goes into a new feed that no one knows who he is, and he says some smart aleck comments, and he gets banned because people don't realize his humor. I think that's hilarious. Snorelord, I'll let you drive my 13 speed next time we meet. I'll teach you how. That'll be cool. Now, is it easy to shift the 13 speed with like 15 chihuahuas? What's up?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. I'll be in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me a second, guys. Alright, I'm back. Do you like my impression of James Best right there? Look at Scott. I know he'd say that. Any pizza and wings and a Pepsi for today to treat yourself because it's Friday. No, we're fasting today, actually. We're not going to eat until like 8 o'clock tonight. Empty tears are trending, right? It's super easy. I learned how to drive a 13 speed through YouTube, but it was like 6 years ago. Well, I would like to learn how to drive an 18 speed. That way I get that big W9 myself if I wanted to. In Roscoe's defense, a lot of phone calls and a weak sauce bladder. Yeah, I've never had to get up and go use the bathroom while doing a live feed. But I'm also not doing 8-hour live feeds either, so there's that. Hashtag empty chair. Eating T-bone steak for dinner. I saw some really disturbing stuff. Okay. Alright, Scott. I saw some really disturbing stuff. So I went meat shopping yesterday morning. And I saw that fake meat that, Bill Gates is trying to outlaw cows and, the stuff that he's promoting. It's literally right next to the real meat. And I looked at the ingredient list. I should have taken a picture of it. Maybe I did. Well, it's not on this one if I did. Um, that's some scary stuff. It looked gross. Like if it was real meat, I wouldn't have bought it because it looked gross. It's probably literally the same stuff they put in dog food and cat food. Anyone miss Super 10 transmissions? I don't even know what that is. I mean, I've heard of that, but I don't know the difference between a Super 10 and a regular 10. Like then Bush started a trading war, like when Bush started a trading war with the EC due to GMO and other stuff. It's somebody's, I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a bill that they're trying to pass in Oregon that's going to outlaw cattle ranching. I don't know. I don't want to be a fear distributor. I don't want to normalize that crap. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This has been a good live feed, I think. Should I keep this up? Give me a thumbs up if I should keep it up. I'm going to have a 5.4 with an auxiliary trans box in it. That'll be awesome. I have no idea what you just said. Is that the 2-stick thing? Like old truck drivers used to have to, like, hands off the wheel. Is that one of those deals? More thumbs up. I need my ego fed. My ego is hungry. Come on, give me a thumbs up. Fast 9 comes out tomorrow, Daniel. Fast and Furious movies are like, remember when you were a kid and you had Hot Wheels cars and you're like driving them all over the place and they're doing these super feats that real cars can do? That's Fast and Furious. I would describe a Super 10 as a 10-speed and a 13-speed had an illegitimate child together. There's a lot of that going on. So, if your ego is hungry, feed it meat. There you go. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I guess I'll keep this up. Yeah, be safe out there. Get your crap in order because it's gonna hit the fan. Peace.